Hey guys, welcome back to Easy English with Kat. If you've ever thought to yourself, I understand English, but I don't sound like them, then this video is for you. Today I want to show you something that most English lessons never explain. I'm a native English speaker, and there are so many things that we do when we're speaking English that we don't even realize we are doing. We're not taught them, we don't think about them, they're automatic. But for English learners, these exact things are usually missing. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through what native English speakers do automatically, things that learners almost never learn, and how simply noticing these habits can immediately help you sound more natural. So part one has to do with how native English speakers structure their speech. First of all, we rarely speak in full sentences, actually. Instead of saying something like, I'm not sure if I want to go out tonight, we say, I'm not sure, or maybe, I don't know, something like that. So in addition to that, we start speaking before we even know the full sentence. So keep this in mind, you do not need the perfect sentence before you start speaking. Native speakers begin and then they adjust and they just keep going. It's a sort of flow that they're in, not a memorized sentence that they just repeat. Number 3 is that we use filters to buy us time. So these filters are, I mean, you know. Sometimes English learners think of these as mistakes, and they're actually not mistakes. This is totally natural, and if anything, it's gonna make you sound like more of a natural speaker. These are not mistakes, they are tools. Number 4 is that we let sentences trail off. For example, this is kind of a long day, so I might just, what does that even mean? And we stop at the end of, and just. That's normal, that's okay. You can actually say something like that, and you're gonna sound even more native. Number 5 is that we do not panic when we pause. Now, as a language learner, you think of pausing as a sort of emergency, a panic, like you can't keep up with yourself. And this is not true, actually. Think of how you speak in your native language. Pauses are totally normal, they're natural. We have to think when we're talking. It's a normal thing. So remember, silence is actually part of natural speaking. Okay, part 2 has to do with how natives respond. So we actually react more than we respond. For example, oh wow, really? Or that's interesting. These kind of expressions keep the conversation flowing, but once again, you don't need a sentence ready to spring out as soon as someone says something. You can just have a natural reaction. Oh, really? Something like that. Number 7 is that we mirror language. Now, what I mean by this is that we often repeat, not verbatim, but we often repeat something that someone else just said. So if you hear someone say, that was stressful, you might respond, oh yeah, that was stressful. So you're just adding to that. You know, you're repeating, you don't need to say something else. Number 8 is that we soften almost everything. Now, I don't know if this is normal in a lot of other languages, but in English, we make everything softer, friendlier, less offensive. That is normal in everyday speech. We say things like kind of, or a bit, or I think at the end of sentences all the time, just to add that your opinion is not too strong. This makes English sound polite and relaxed. So if you feel like your English is sounding really textbook heavy, add these phrases in all the time. I think I might cut my hair, you know? Now that is natural English. Number 9 is that we also avoid strong certainty. So this is very similar to the last one. We rarely ever sound 100% sure. We actually avoid that at all costs. I think that we feel it is a bit offensive or impolite or your opinion is too strong. So we avoid that. Even when we are 100% sure, we do avoid that. And we add those phrases I just said, we make things sound a little iffy, a little more relaxed, something like that. Now, number 10 is that we agree out loud. When someone is talking, we often respond with things like, yeah, exactly, right. So even if you don't really agree, your opinion is not exactly the same, we affirm that we hear what the other person is saying by saying, yeah, exactly, something like that. These small sounds signal connection and confirmation that you understand, really more than anything. So part 3 has to do with How natives think while they're speaking. So number 11 is that we think in meaning, not in words. So what I mean by this is that we think as we're talking. We are not translating sentences, obviously, it's our native language. We are not coming up with a full sentence and then saying it and that be what we mean. We are thinking as we are talking, you know? So you're explaining something. For example, if I'm talking to my friend about a haircut, I would say, yeah, I feel like my hair is maybe getting a little too long. I think I should cut it. What do you think? I don't know. I'm a bit iffy. What do you think? Right? So it's just this continuation of words and thoughts, and the other person might respond, yeah, I don't know. Maybe you could cut it. Maybe you couldn't. Right? So their answer is the same thing. It's not this perfect sentence that you would write and turn in on an assignment. It's really just this flow of words and ideas coming out. Now, that might be hard to replicate as a non-native speaker, but actually it's easier. You talk as you think, you know, and it's gonna make your English sound so much more natural. Number 12 is that we heavily rely on familiar phrases. Native speakers actually reuse the same phrases over and over again. We rely on repetition. Now, as a non-native speaker, this is actually helpful for you. It helps you be able to understand more. And it also makes it so that when you learn a few key phrases, you can use those over and over again, and your English is going to sound more natural. Now, I know there is a tendency to often try to pick up and try to learn 100 new phrases in a week, something like this. And yes, that's good because sometimes you're gonna come across them and you're gonna need to understand them. But there's also a place for phrases like, you know, I think, I mean, probably. Those we use 100 times in a day. Those are so important. So if you focus on those, your pronunciation for those phrases, you focus on using them in the right context, your speaking is going to sound so much better. Number 13 is that we don't actually correct ourselves much. We all make mistakes all the time. Even as native speakers, we jumble words, we pronounce things wrong, we switch the word order. Sometimes speaking is hard, okay? We have all been there. Sometimes your brain is just confused and it comes out wrong. And you know, sometimes we laugh and correct ourselves, and sometimes we just ignore it and just keep going. So this is something to remember when you're speaking and you make a mistake. It's not a big deal. Probably you're thinking about it more than anyone else. It's totally normal. It's okay. Just keep going. Number 14 is that we focus on rhythm much more than we focus on perfection. So if you listen to me right now, actually, you can hear the rhythm in my voice. And this is very important for my English and your English. We try to sound comfortable more than anything. So you accentuate the words that are important and you lessen the words that are unimportant. Did you hear that? Rhythm is very important, and you can practice that by mirroring. Listen to this video and repeat after me. Try to speak in the same rhythm. Repeat one word at a time, one sentence at a time, until you get that same cadence, and your English will sound really natural by doing that. That will really, really change the level of your English. Part 4 has to do with what learners can copy. So the good news is that you don't need to become a native speaker. All you have to do is borrow these native habits. So here are some things that you should really focus on as you move forward speaking English. Start with shorter answers, more reactions, softer language, and a slower pace. Those 4 things right there are really gonna up your level of English. These changes all by themselves with nothing else can completely change the way that your English sounds to other people and how confident. Now, if you really wanna focus those things, I recommend, honestly, just rewatching the video and repeating after me, making sure you really understand what I'm saying, you have the rhythm, you have the expressions, those things. Go back and repeat it and practice on your own. If you've ever felt like something is missing from your spoken English, it's probably not grammar and it's probably not vocabulary even. It's these small automatic habits that native speakers, once you notice these, you're gonna start hearing English different and speaking it differently too. Thanks for learning with me. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe. It truly helps my channel and I really appreciate it. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!